Hi everyone, this is Francisco, and I just got done watching the Maui's Deadly Firestorm. It's titled Maui's Deadly Firestorm, full documentary, Frontline, and it just broke my heart to listen to all the reviews, all the feedback from the people that were impacted by it. And they were talking about like preventative ways. They were talking about basically coming up with preventative ways to prevent stuff like that from happening. But I think we all have to be honest with each other, and we have to realize that it's not preventable. If more high winds come and impact us, other communities are at risk. And that's why I am proposing for all of us to build better homes with technology, okay? And making them where they could be as much as possible to make them fire retardant, flood resistant, hurricane resistant, and earthquake resistant. The whole 9 yards when it comes to natural disasters. Because, you guys already know what they call the miracle house in the Maui. Yeah, this one. They call it the miracle house. But I honestly think that they should have named it more. See right here, it says Miracle House survives Lahaina wildfire in the midst of a sea of ashes and tragedy. I don't think they should have named it Miracle House. I think they should have named it more like Wise Builders. Wise builders who constructed it. That this is a wise house. And I think they did some research and stuff like that, and I think they figured out that it was made from different materials and stuff like that. And I also wanted to look at Maui's destruction costs. So right here it says the Maui wildfires of August 2023 caused over 5.5 billion in damages and are expected to cost over 12 billion to recover from. So if we look at this data more carefully and thoroughly, other communities could be destroyed and damaged, and we're talking $12 billion estimated, and it says over 12 billion. So I think that it would be wise to really look into what I have discussed in my other videos regarding the Tesla mega factory. But I wanted to look at like the cost of it. Like, cost to build. Right here. This one's good. Or Gigafactory? Let me see. Well, I thought it was anyway, this one the mega factory, giga factory, whatever. The cost to build a Tesla gigafactory varies by location and scale, ranging from 1.6 billion to 10 billion. See, so that's not that much in comparison to one area, one community that was impacted by wildfires. Okay, so with that taken into consideration, I believe that, with AI technology and designers and engineers, if they all come together, if the people come together and really think this through, we can provide people with homes that will be able to, to stand the test of trials that impact us, that come upon us at any given time. And this is just one fire. Recently in California, within the United States of America, we had the Eaton fire and we had the Palisades fire. And I think with the Eaton fire and the Palisades fire, there is only like 20 deaths. But the Maui fire had 102 deaths, according to this documentary that I just recently got done watching. So, I think there was 102 deaths because the fire spread in within 3 hours. It all happened like in a few hours, and luckily, I think it could have been worse. I think there could have been more deaths, but luckily, everyone was able to evacuate. I don't know how many people were able to evacuate, but I could look it up, but I'm pretty sure we're talking about thousands of people. So I think that we got pretty lucky. And in the documentary, the electric companies, like I think it might be like Edison, but I'm not really too sure. Here in my area is Edison, the power company. But anyway, they replaced all the wooden electrical posts, and they replaced them with metal posts. Okay, and in the video you guys will see the construction workers cutting the wood off, and eventually they replaced them with metal pillars or tubes, gigantic ones to hold the power lines. So I think that it's not a just a theory or something that I'm thinking up. The ideas that I'm talking about are actually doable. Okay, so I was also watching another video, and I can go to my history so I could kind of show you guys that particular video. But it's a company called Vast, and they basically build Yeah, right here. It says the race to replace the ISS, vast American-made space, something, something, something. But this is it right here. And obviously, I'm not going to play the video because YouTube doesn't like that. But I did like the video. Vast American-made space station. So these guys are actually building wall panels within this video for this thing right here. And it's all in house, and that's practically what I'm referring to. You know, building these walls. I think I passed it already, but in here, in this video, within this video, they show an area where right here. So they build these walls, which are the exterior part of the ship, and they have the windows and everything. And they're able to, like, take on a lot of damage. So this is the machine that they're using right here to, like, they're using engravers and stuff like that. So pretty much this is what I'm referring to. Doing something like this for homes, for people. See, and right here they have the panels. On this one, yeah, right here. So that's what I was kind of referring to, like doing something of this nature where the machines will build wall panels, and these wall panels could be used to construct a home easily. Okay? And they could offer a variety of custom homes for people. But technically, if you guys out there take on this task and you guys like make it happen, you guys undergo this or take on this mission or whatever, basically these areas that were impacted by the fires these communities could be rebuilt in no time, with homes that are built with technology. Okay, and taking out the wood idea, these 2x4s and plywood, things that, that's just adding fuel to the fire. I guess inside the home, like wooden cabinets, I wouldn't frown on that idea, but I think that even that would need to be upgraded to something that is fire retardant, in case someone is cooking, because it happens all the time. People are cooking and the oil catches on fire, and this way, we're not having other fires and other damages that people have to, like repair, and firefighters are not. They won't be getting called to turn off a fire. Okay, and so these type of situations could be more controlled, and if stuff like this happens, each and every single home could be equipped with some type of fire extinguisher, in the kitchen for these type of cases. But it's very dangerous, and like in the documentary, there was people that were really, really devastated regarding the aftermath, and these people were freaking frightened. They were frightened to death because they show videos of people recording with their cell phones as they were leaving the scene, and the fire, the coals, they were all over the place. They were in the wind with the air, in the wind, and they were just going everywhere. The little ambers and stuff. So I think that we just need to upgrade, and the old way didn't work before, and is never going to work. And we have to be honest with ourselves about this. And there's a lot of communities that are, very, very saturated with homes. I'm talking about miles and miles of homes. So, even the Palisades fire, if the winds didn't die down, the fires could have spread further. And fires are happening all the time. I think there's even a new one, a new fire that is going on right now. But we could look into the Palisades fire damage costs. Right here it says the Palisades fire in Los Angeles is estimated to have caused at least $164 billion in property and capital losses. The fire also damaged or destroyed public infrastructure worth at least $350 million. And if we're looking at the general area, is similar to the Maui fire because it happened right near the coast. So homes that are right there on the shoreline are worth a few $1,000,000. So just because of the location of where these fires happened. So I think these numbers are wrong, honestly, because there was one structure that burned, and that structure alone. Wait, it says 164 billion. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I thought I said million, so I thought that their math was wrong. But yeah, there was one property that was worth $125 million, and they generated $450,000. No, I'm sorry, 400. Wait, no, it was $450,000 per month, because it was like a motel, hotel type of thing. Okay, like something luxury. It was like very luxurious. So it was like high end. It was a really high end hotel or whatever, because I looked it up before, and I googled, I searched the internet, and I typed in what was the most expensive structure that burned, and it was that one. So I mean, these numbers here far pass the costs of building a gigafactory or megafactory like Tesla. And Tesla produces a vehicle every 30 seconds, estimated. So all these homes that were lost could technically be replaced in a matter of, in a matter of a few years. And I think it was the governor in this documentary with the Maui fires, and he stated something in the lines of he won't stop until every single family that was impacted by the fire gets a home. So basically he was insinuating that he's going to do everything he can to get everyone in a home that was impacted by the fires, and that the people that lost their homes. So if we're really thinking we won't build the old traditional way, okay, we're going to build these people, we're going to restore these people's homes in faith, and they won't ever be at risk of igniting and catching on fire. I mean, worst case scenario, these homes will be like version 1.0. Okay, so over time, obviously, if people are providing bad reviews about the homes or whatever, AI technology can learn from that and perfect it. Anything that we may miss. So, this is going to be the, state-of-the-art technology homes provided to the people. And, I'm thinking that maybe there will be people who will buy these homes simply based on the reviews, and since they will be um, natural disaster proof. So these homes will be protected, in other words, from natural disasters. Because there's a lot of other natural disasters that occur, including tsunamis. In Florida, there's like constant tsunamis that happen and occur. So so even that, a lot of people lost their homes. So okay, so when we are evaluating the damages and also the rebuilding process for each and every home that was already built and was destroyed, and now people have to rebuild, which is slowing us down in our pursuits of like space exploration and other things that we could be focusing instead. I'm not saying that these matters are not important. They are important, and that's why I'm discussing this. But if these homes could be, at least 95% natural disaster proof, then we could focus our attention and direct the money towards space exploration, developing our communities, and other things that could benefit all of us. So I hope you guys see where I'm going with this, and it's pretty much we're taking 3 steps forward to only go back to 1 step. And this is happening all over the place. And that's a problem within itself. Because now people are not focusing on their jobs, on their careers, on their professions, whatever it is that they master in, because of all these other things that are happening, all these distractions. And that's the way I look at them. These things are distractions, and it's not good for any of us, and it's actually a headache. It's a curse. It's affecting us mentally and physically, health wise as well. And it's getting people stressed the fuck out, and not even getting into how terrified these people were. Okay, so there's a lot to take into consideration, and I'm not even talking about just the homes. There's other damages that that affect all of us. So we have to think this stuff through. Simply rebuilding the old traditional way is not going to cut it. And that's not a fire preventative measure. Especially when you guys are looking at it at a presidency level or president level, that's not the correct way to go about this. A real president level is the way that I'm describing it. Real presidency type of way is the way that I'm describing it, because I'm talking about protecting the home from any natural disaster. And like I've stated before, the worst case scenario is that the exterior portion of your homes get damaged, but these homes could be replaced and 100% recycled. Okay, so it would just be a matter of taking out your personal belongings from the home, because like I said, the worst case scenario is the exterior of your home will get impacted by like a wildfire. Okay, but everything else inside, all your belongings will be protected inside. So you guys will just have to pay a company to, a moving company to remove everything out, and for like the professional construction workers to come in and deconstruct everything. Taking every single panel, removing each and every single panel off, or maybe just those that were impacted or affected by the fires, or whatever the case may be, and new ones can be added, and you guys can resume your lives without going to shelter homes with all of your children, without any of your belongings, and without other people getting distracted with whatever it is that they're doing, because there's a lot of people who come to the rescue, a lot of people who volunteer. So there's a lot of volunteers, a lot of donations and stuff like that. You guys already know the drill. Okay, so there's a lot of things that happen, that go on when this stuff happens. The Tesla vehicles as well, and other vehicles, I never really got into this, but a lot of the vehicles were actually destroyed as well. So if Elon Musk or all the car industries, companies out there look into ways to prevent a car from burning up, then that would be great as well. Because I don't know how these vehicles burned. Maybe it's the glass that's not able to withstand high temperatures. But whatever it is, I think that also is worthy of attention. Okay, the rubber on the wheels, the tires, if somehow you guys can make them fire retardant as well, that would be great. And I've been talking about all sorts of things, including the airless tires. Like, I don't know why each and every single vehicle doesn't have the airless tires by this time. And if you guys are concerned about police pursuits and stuff like that, and you guys are thinking, well, how are we going to perform a successful spike maneuver, or like to pop the tires, to slow the vehicle down, and eventually making an arrest, that type of thing. Well, I also came out with another video discussing how if citizens are driving on the opposite side of the road, the vehicle will alert the driver, and if the driver continues to drive on the opposite side of the road, these smart vehicles will pull over. AI technology, the cruise control will take over the vehicle's control abilities and pull the vehicle over, and it will instantly shut down until a police officer arrives. So, in the event of an emergency, if people are driving on the opposite side of a road or a freeway, then maybe there could be an exception. Okay, but we all have to think this stuff through, and make it where it's safe for everyone. And where this technology could be reliable. Because I also invest some of my time into watching, looking at police pursuit videos, and in some cases these vehicles are running red lights, they're driving on the opposite side of the road, they're passing stop signs. So at any given time, if a driver is doing that, like, again, for the smart vehicles, cruise control will take over and make notes of what's going on. And after, let's say, 3 failed attempts after AI technology notifies the driver, like, hey, you passed the stop sign, strike 1. You fucking passed another one, you dumb fucking moron. Now you fucking passed the red light. We have an issue. 3rd fucking strike, the vehicle will pull over, and the driver won't have any control over the vehicle. But however, police officers and paramedics and firefighters and other like military vehicles, that will be overwritten. It'll be override. So they will be able to do it. Because we're talking about the law, and they are enforcing the law, and they're saving lives. So, obviously, whenever there's a fire, the fire trucks go and drive on the opposite side of the roads, possibly even on freeways, including EMR, the paramedic vehicles, and obviously police officers as well. So, police pursuits are also a big fucking issue, a major issue. As a matter of fact, there was one police pursuit that I was watching, and the police officers were attempting to block the vehicle in, and there is a big semi truck, and they kind of blocked it in, but then the semi truck moved, and the vehicle came out. It churned and came out, and then it was on an off ramp, just right off the freeway, and then it made it right onto the street. So it got the suspect got out of the freeway, was driving to get away from the police officers again, and not even like a minute or two later, the suspect ran someone over. So, I mean, you guys do the math. This is not hard. This is not complicated. You guys are talking about... We're talking about AI technology here. Okay, and on the same note, I was discussing in another video how AI technology could restrict and limit drivers speeding. The speeding. When it comes to going over the speed limit, the smart vehicles won't permit drivers from going over the speed limit. So AI technology already knows the general speed limit for each and every single street. There is Tesla and other smart vehicle drivers who are beta testing all this stuff. So I think there should be major restrictions on everyone, except obviously those in authority and on duty. Okay, if a person is off duty, obviously this will also apply to them. So there's a lot to look into here. The other thing I'm thinking about is the recent accident with a commercial airline and a military helicopter that happened this year. I think that since airplanes and stuff like that have autopilot equipped within the plane, within the planes, I think that there should be smarter detection and motion detection technology to be able to look into this stuff, to avoid an air or airplane collision, an air collision, because we're talking about 150 people that passed away, or even more than that, and they were pulling out dead bodies from a river or a lake. So the military plane, since it's a military plane, and this airline plane is pretty much like a flying missile. And you guys would think that a military helicopter would have this technology embedded into it, installed into it. But it's obvious that it didn't have this technology, because this accident could have been avoided. It could have been preventable. So and I know that we're all still learning. I understand that people are just playing around with AI technology at the moment, and getting the feel of it, how it works, what they could do with it, and stuff like that. But I think that these are very important matters that we need to look into, because it's not just impacting the United States of America. It's also impacting other countries. These natural disasters are also a problem in other countries. So, I mean, like I said, you guys do the math. The math is not complicated. And, yeah, I mean, let's say building these homes is not an issue, and you guys have the whole community rebuilt in less than 5 years, or less than 2 years. I don't really know. Okay, but I was, according to my intelligence, one home could be rebuilt in 1 week with a professional crew. So that means one crew could technically build 58 homes in a year. And I don't know how many crews you people have out there working on homes. But it doesn't seem like much. It doesn't seem like a lot of homes. So I think that's why the damage, the estimated damage rate is so high as well, because not only the homes. I don't think these numbers are just for homes. I mean, we're also talking about vehicles, smart televisions, restrooms, ceiling fans, carpets, hardwood flooring, countertops, kitchens. What else is in a home? Freaking mattresses, couches, and some of these couches and stuff are worth quite a bit of money. Okay, so I think that's why the number is so high, but it's possible that these numbers are just for the homes, and not including what the hell was inside of the homes. Okay, so it could be, these numbers could be more if everything was calculated. Okay, just one mattress for someone to sleep in. Some of them are like $200, 300, 400, 500, 1,000. So I mean, we're talking about a whole lot of money. Kid toys, the whole 9 yards. Insulation, stucco, roofing, all the wood, all the nails, everything. The screws. Everything was lost. people's lawnmowers, freaking people's shovels, rakes, everyone's tools, all the, boats, freaking, I don't know, those, what are they called again? I can see it in my mind, but I just can't describe it. It's like a little vehicle, but just for sport. So there's a lot of those that people use to like go off-roading with. So there's a lot of other things that we couldn't see with our own very eyes. We didn't see it. A lot of this stuff is in the garage, inside the home somewhere. All the plumbing, all the work that went into these homes is gone. And this stuff took years and years and years to build. So, there's a lot of angry people. I don't blame them. I think that's why, there's a lot of crime, a lot of confusion regarding why people are angry, why people are frustrated, why people are committing crimes. People just don't understand that, especially when they're not considering all of this information. They could just be a new recruited police officer, and all of a sudden they're faced off with an angry citizen. Like, what the heck's wrong with this person? What crawled up this person's ass? So there's a lot that we don't really consider. So when there's a lot of riots, all these crazy riots and people breaking into stores, vandalizing Walmarts, stealing jewelry, stealing and breaking into stores and stuff like that, these natural disasters could be a result of these people's behaviors. The way that, I don't know, it could be like something that affects them or triggers them to behave in such a way. And it's very sad because sometimes some of these people could be affected by these traumatic experiences, and people get scared when people are acting like they just don't give a fuck. So I think that there's some cases where some of these people could die just based on how they are behaving towards some police officers. The other day, as a matter of fact, I was in the living room and my mom was watching the news, and there is an older man, 65 years old. I later learned through the video, and he was passing stoplights and stop signs, and he just refused to pull over because there is a police officer performed a traffic stop on him, and then he pulls over and steps out of the vehicle even though the police officer was advising him to stay in the vehicle. And then eventually he started getting closer to the unit, and he started shouting, "Get down on the ground, get down on the ground." and then he walks over to the passenger side of the unit, and the police officer opens fire and kills him right there on the spot. Because he pulled out a knife on him. He's like, the police officer said, "Don't pull out a knife on me," and he opened fire and he shot him and killed him. But stuff like this, stuff like that, it makes you wonder why these people are angry, what they're so frustrated about and angry about, and we just will never know. Unless we have AI technology, that could, scan the person's face and provide some information regarding the person, the suspect, in the heat of the moment. It could reveal information, sensitive information right there, that could notify police officers to this erratic behavior of the suspect. Maybe the information, the data will reveal that the person was impacted by some type of natural disaster, and then it could show a percentage of the violent history of the person from 0 through 100. If the person has 0 violent crime, then police officers could, rest more assured without, fear overcoming them and making such a lethal decision. Instead, police officers will be able to take it easy on the guy, knowing that the person has been through a lot. I also believe that police officer units should be updated and upgraded, like the Tesla vehicles, where the handles are like more concealed, and even possibly fingerprint recognition, so it can have some type of fingerprint recognition, and I don't know, I have some other ideas, but I really don't want to get off topic. But like, for instance, like if someone is off duty and they attempt to get in a police unit vehicle, maybe AI technology won't allow them to, because they will know that they're off duty, stuff like that. So with technology, a lot could be done, a lot could be prevented, and I already talked about how AI technology with CCTV could also solve a lot of crimes, and it could use facial recognition to figure out and analyze who out there is breaking the law and being violent towards others, or if someone's going around stealing and stuff like that. It'll keep a record of all that. Okay, so I think this is where all the money should be focused on, is AI technology. But first, we need to get all these other things done. We need to work on all these other little things that could result in whole communities losing their homes and stuff like that. The whole community getting separated, and because that's where the love is, in a community, in someone's home. And if that's taken away from them, it could impact people to do things that they wouldn't otherwise do. So, looking at the damages that just this one fire did is just mind-boggling. And we're talking about a bunch of other communities, and I hope we're not overlooking them, because even here in Riverside, where I live, it was under a red flag warning as well for possible fires, like the Palisades fire and the Eaton fire, and I think there's other fires, but they're kind of smaller, but still. And even now, it's possible that red flag warning is still in effect, even though we had a little bit of rain, a little bit of drizzle recently. I don't know what's forecasted, for this coming up month or the following month. But so far, it's not a lot of rain. And if July comes around and it only rains like this, it's only going to get worse. With global warming and stuff like that, if we look into global warming, because I think that we need to look into that, because a lot of these homes are built with wood, and if they're freaking burning and it's requiring more wood, that's when we have deforestation, where companies are cutting down trees because they require wood. They need the wood to build homes. And everything around us is dying. There's no grass, there's no trees. And that's what helps us to stay alive, to stay healthy. Trees produce oxygen. We breathe out the fucking garbage. We know what the fucking trees need and the grass needs to thrive on. But if we're taking out all these fucking trees and grass, and I know that emissions from vehicles have a big factor on this as well, including air conditioning and heating, because of all the emissions that are produced each and every single year, to provide people with electricity and power and gasoline and stuff like that. That's why they're converting from gasoline and diesel and stuff like that to electric. So with that in mind, I even thought about a hydraulic generator. You guys can look it up in my YouTube channel. So it can produce a lot of electricity with through hydraulics. Because it could pick up tons like nothing. Tons of weight. With little to no electricity consumption. Okay, so I was thinking that it could lift, hundreds and thousands of tons of water, and it could flow out, and as it's flowing out, it's spinning a turbine. Once it runs out, this one will be lowered, the other one will raise up, and it will just keep repeating that over and over and over. So obviously more electricity will be produced over time than it's required for the machine to stay in operation. It's simple math. Not complicated at all. Not complicated whatsoever. Because there's a law of leverage there with hydraulics. So basically taking advantage of that law of leverage and using it to our benefit. So, this will help us majorly in other areas in our lives where we need help in, like cleaning water, providing warmth to cold climate homes, and producing air conditioning, AC, to homes where areas are super hot outside, and just producing, providing electricity to homes without, going over and beyond, creating fucking dams that generate electricity that cost, who knows how much they cost, probably trillions of dollars. And this machine I'm speaking about, it will only be a couple $1,000,000 or something like that. So, it's a no-brainer at the end of the day. If any of you think this is a joke or whatever the case may be, like I said before, you guys need to look at some of these natural disasters before you view my videos, because a lot of people can look at this information and overlook a lot of things. But I would highly advise each and every single one of you to spend and to invest at least 1,000 hours in looking at natural disaster videos before judging me or criticizing me and things like that, or putting me down or whatever through social media or whatever people do. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this just briefly, and I'm actually surprised how little this company cost to build in comparison to the damages. So that's something that you people need to discuss in a legal matter, in a legal setting, in court, with a lot of professionals. But anyway, I'm Francisco Contreras, and I'm going to end this video. God bless you all. I love you all. I'm praying for you all, and hopefully we could protect not only the homes that were impacted by the fires or other natural disasters, but we could prevent some of these things from happening to others.